What's up, Rockstars? I have a ton of new announcements for you. There's a ton of new IP stuff going on. In fact, almost everything I'm covering today is IP driven. So we got video games, we got past huge projects, we got companies helping other companies with their IP stuff. There's a lot. So let's just dive right in. At the very end, I'm going to show you a little sneak peek of something that looks kind of exciting. A lot of attitude in this one, so I'll share that at the very end. We'll take a look at it. So starting out, Tainted Grail, the role-playing game on Kickstarter. That's right, it's not on GameFound, even though it's obviously licensed from Awakened Realms, sister company to GameFound. It's coming out on Kickstarter. It's a role-playing game in Tainted Grail. This is something I would dig because I think it would be awesome to role-play as someone miserable in a miserable situation. And that's exactly what Tainted Grail is. So kind of interesting, very cool. It's done by Jim Searcy here, the acclaimed board game by Awakened Realms, developed by Studio Agate, the most award-winning French RPG creative studio. They've done quite a bit. Like if you look on their stuff, I don't know why it's under Jim. He must have been the guy who made it. That happens sometimes with these companies. You can't change the name. They did the encyclopedia thing, which looked super boring to me, but a lot of people thought it was super cool. But they also have the creatures and they've done some big stuff. So there's people that are going to be super excited for this, I'm sure. It looks cool. Tainted Grail is such a fun universe that they created. I love the theory and stuff. You guys know that. So an RPG based on that, it's going to be huge. Only 209 followers, but I'm sure that's going to increase. There are linked down below in the description along with everything else plus more. There's like a bajillion links down there. So Control F is your friend. Feel free to check that out. If you appreciate the links, leave a like on the video. Thank you so much. EVE Online, the board game. The only problem about this is there's not enough spreadsheets and doesn't look like homework. But besides that, that's pretty cool. It's almost a misstep to not just call it EVE Offline. EVE Online, the board game, uses diplomacy, deception, and direct warfare to engage your rivals in a grand game of cosmic chess. Make the first move today. This is going to be huge. There is a big fan following for EVE. They have their own con and stuff like that, and they gobble up anything EVE related, and that's because they love it. And I think it's cool. I watch EVE from a distance. I've tried to play it twice, and it was a lot of work and not so much fun, which is a bummer because it looks like a lot of fun. There's some fun parts there, but there's a lot of work involved until you get there. If you don't know, EVE Online is a MMO, a massive multiplayer online game where you are in a spaceship and you get to fly around and pretty much do anything, kind of like a Zia kind of thing. You can pirate, you can, deliver goods, you can fight pirates, you can do all sorts of, you can mine asteroids, you can just trade stuff, you can escort people. There's a lot, but it's a lot of spreadsheets, a lot of numbers, a lot of just sitting there while you mine an asteroid. If this game doesn't involve the ability to be able to leave the board game, come back and find out that you're dead, it's not a true EVE Online experience. That's all I'm saying. Looks super cool though. It definitely is a beautiful box, that's for sure. It's got some minis, you're moving around on hex tiles. It's very much a sci-fi board game. They understand ship minis, hex tiles. Those are requirements, right? I believe. So they got that down. We'll see. I'll keep taking a look at it. It is from Titan Forge Games. Kind of an interesting take. I didn't know Titan Forge Games would have done this. It's cool for them to get into the IP stuff. We'll see how that is. Rock Galactic, another fan favorite, another fan following where they just love their stuff. I heard good things about the board game. A patron of mine painted all the minis. They look fantastic painted. I can tell you that much. At least he made them look great. This is a new one with new mission types with the Space Rig expansion to add new biomes and creatures with the biome expansion. So you can do different assignments and mission types, and then you also have different biomes you can do for the Deep Rock Galactic. I'm sure there's going to be a reprint here as well, so feel free to check in on that. Again, 6,436 followers already there, and it's just going to get bigger. This is going to be a massive game. It's going to be a massive campaign. It's going to be huge, and people are going to like it a lot. The minis look cool. The gameplay is well liked. It's based off an IP that people like. There's not really a lot bad to say about it. I don't even know why it's on this channel. No, I'm kidding. It looks great. It looks really, really good. I'm just in a weird mood today. Guilty Gear Strive, the board game. Another video game made into a board game. It's so weird to me that we started out with board games and tabletop games, and then video games really just tried to emulate that with like the tabletop experience. So you had die rolls that were, programmatically done. That's how like BioWare got their start, right? It's taking all these like TTRPGs, making them into a video game, and now it's vice versa. Now we're bringing them back into a board game. Fantastic. This is a fighting game though. So Guilty Gear is like a game like, Tekken or Street Fighter or something like that. So how this will play, I do not know, but it sounds very interesting, and it's a glorious collector's edition. I don't know what the collectors, like, did this come out before? If you guys know, let me know. All I know is that it's by level 99, and they tend to do a pretty darn good job. Well-reviewed stuff. People like what they make, so very interesting to see how this turns out. Next up, we have Monolith doing some interesting stuff. They are going to be doing a Legends of the Five Rings Champions of Rokugan, and that will be on behalf of Fantasy Flight Games and their stuff that they've been doing here. So very interesting to see that they're partnering with them to bring this like board game to Kickstarter. If you didn't know, they're actually doing this thing where they even want your prototypes. If you've been designing a game and you want somebody to publish it, go talk to Monolith. They are open for business when it comes to that kind of stuff. So kind of interesting to see the tendency here. Now, you might be tracking their other stuff. My understanding is the Mythic Battles Pantheon and Ragnarok are either shipping or close to shipping now. So at least there's that, but they've been kind of slacking there for a while. Hopefully the wait was worth it. We also have Clan Wars. This is kind of the weird, interesting sneak peek. 1,915 followers. All they have mostly is art and a very staunch like atmosphere, right? With red, white, big letters, all capital, black and white picture. This is by Six More Vodka, which is kind of a hilarious thing, but I guess in Berlin, that's what you do. Here's their website. They have this kind of terrible trailer. I'm going to go ahead and mute it. You don't need sound, where they kind of show you some of the miniatures close up and kind of weird, quick cut shots and stuff like that. Very stylized. That being said, the miniatures do look pretty good. I believe it's a skirmish game, and as such, it's going to be miniature centric. That's a big part of it, is the hobby part of that. They look cool. They look interesting. They look unique and different and fairly dynamic from what I can tell. But again, these are going to be like resin prints and stuff like that too. So, we'll see what the final ends up looking like. But looks pretty cool. Looks kind of interesting. I will definitely let you know how this ends up. But of course, it is linked down below, along with everything else. One more thing before you go. The AI policy of Kickstarter has now been finally established. Essentially, if you've used AI at all in your campaign, you need to now say so. And if not, you essentially need to prove that you're human. It's like a CAPTCHA for your campaign, right? So that's really all that is there, is you're just going to have to disclose it and add a few stuff like that. But anyway, that's it. Guys, that keeps you up to date. Now you know everything you need to know, along with all the other many news videos I've done recently to keep you guys informed. There's still more to come. There's always more to come. There's more coming out, so stay tuned for that. If you have not subscribed, do so. I'll let you know, especially day one launch stuff. That's huge. Big details, pushes. I'll be doing a lot more of that. There's going to be several reviews and unboxings coming up. Stay tuned for that, of course, as well. And if you do like the channel, if you appreciate it, and you want to help support me doing this more, spending more time on this, then Patreon and YouTube membership certainly helps so much. There's some cool benefits there, so you get some benefit out of it, some exclusive videos, stuff like that. And of course, I benefit as well, and further making this my full-time job. Eventually, we'll see. Hopefully in maybe about 2 years or so. But it depends. If you guys support, that might come sooner. Either way, guys, thank you so much, even just for watching. I hope I helped you out today. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Take care. Bye, guys.